Good morning. Happy New Year. It's Heather with the latest, newest, first R-rated review of 2025. I want to do a review quickly on the Gold Circle Party, the Nashville New Year's Eve Big Bash featuring Jelly Roll as the headliner with Kane Brown. Keith Urban performed and was hosting it. I know this review isn't potentially going to help anybody for 11 and a half more months. But I'm kind of hoping that maybe it will help somebody if they're on the fence next year or the end of this year making a decision. I went to Nashville on my birthday, December 29th, and I stayed for New Year's Eve, and I came home New Year's Day late at night. I had the best time. Anyone who's ever seen my videos knows that I absolutely love Stitch. Hold on, my cat is going to knock my... Don't knock my camera down. I have no pants on. It's not that kind of video, Stitch. Pants are bad. I don't make resolutions. I'm going to make one now. No pants. I had the best time. So anyone who's ever seen any of my... I went to Nashville 4 times in a year and a half time period. I love Nashville. I always have so much fun. And this time was no different. And I was by myself, and it didn't matter. I had a fabulous birthday dinner. I did some shopping. I was at Kid Rock's. I went to the Tin Roof. I went to a whole bunch of places. I went to Franklin. I went to Leper's Fork. I went to really cool places. The only time that I can say I didn't have a good time was New Year's Eve. And that's the part that was the most disappointing. I shouldn't even say disappointing. I'm not sorry that I went. I'm so glad that I went. I wouldn't, and I don't regret buying that Gold Circle ticket. I don't regret it because somebody could tell me, so they were blue in the face, that it was going to suck. And sometimes I tend to be one of those people that has to learn for myself. Because when I read reviews, I read the good ones, but then I always go in and I read the bad ones. Because I want to see if there are things in common that the bad ones say, because then maybe those things are true. There's always going to be that one Karen out there that just can't be pleased. And you can read, you hear that. I'm glad I went. I just don't think it was worth it. And it's expensive. The people that were outside in the freezing rain for free looked like they had the best time. I mean, I wouldn't do that either. They had 110,000 people outside in Nashville for the Big Bash. I don't know how many Gold Circle tickets they sell. I want to say it was less than 500. It was sold out. 715 or 750. Anyway, it's around $750 for one ticket. And I met a bunch of really nice people. They had outdoor seating with couches and gas fire pits, like the tabletop fire pits. They had those patio propane heaters, the big tall ones. They had food, cocktails. There was an indoor viewing space with sofas, tables, and stools and things. When I first got there, it opens at 5:30, and it's got its own entrance at the farmer's market. And it has a viewing area for the stage outside. It's right on top of the stage. You have a great view, but you're off to the side. Not a problem. When I first got there, I couldn't find the entrance, even though they gave us directions that there's very limited parking. They want you to use rideshare. But I don't drink. I mean, barely. I gave my last drink ticket away because I wasn't going to drink it. And I threw my first 2 drinks away. I'll tell you that why in a little while. But they had a list of the parking lots that were open. And me, I had nothing else to do. So I made sure I sat and did my research that morning on my phone because they close certain roads while they're setting up. So I worked out the route. I found 3 parking garages that were within a reasonable walking distance, knowing that I would be dressed with heels on. It was potentially going to be raining. It was going to be chilly. I didn't want to walk too far in the cold because I only brought a wrap, things like that. I did all of my recon. I mapped out several parking locations that were listed as available, navigated my directions based on road closures, knew how long it would take me to get there. And then I did a dry run. I'm like, I have nothing else to do. And I have like the worst luck in the world. So if I have to go today and run some errands, I may as well do a dry run. And thank goodness I did. Because the very first parking location on Rosa Parks Boulevard was closed. So I pulled into the open section of it, and the guy working there was like, no, I said, I'm just asking a question. I said, this is listed as an address of available parking for tonight. Will this lot be reopened for this evening? And he's like, no, this lot is just for security. So I was like, oh, okay. He gave me some suggestions of where to park. He said, go to First Horizons Bank because they were opening their garage to people to park. It was like a mile and a half away. I was like, I parked on the street a few blocks away behind KFC. But the issue is, I couldn't locate. They had so many features in place for people walking or ride sharing. They had trains, they had buses. The event seemed very well organized. It went off without a hitch. It was very smooth. There didn't seem to be any issues. Everyone got along well. It was a great event. I just don't think that I would ever buy the VIP pass again. First of all, I met some really nice people sitting outside by the fire that were from Seattle, and all we kind of did was make fun of ourselves for buying this fucking ticket for $750. It was obnoxious. And I was spending New Year's alone, which was fine. But I figured that I would like make some friends, and I sort of did. But the girl at the door was like, oh, you're going to make so many friends. There's so many single people in there. I thought it was hilarious. I made a little sign on a piece of paper. Then I folded it up and put it in my little clutch. And I'm like, look at my sign. And when I got there, I pulled it out. It was like, it says, I need a kiss at midnight. And she was laughing so hard. She's like, you're going to have a great time. There's so many single people in there. Not a fucking one. And if there was, I didn't find them. It was couples. Just so you know, it was primarily couples. And I will also tell you, it was primarily older people. And I was sitting there looking around and I'm thinking to myself, no wonder it's older people. They're the only ones that can afford these fucking tickets. Who's going to spend $1,500 for 2 tickets for a couple to go? I mean, these were people that obviously had money. I was dressed to the nines. And I was not overdressed. That people were they dressed however they want. Some were more casual. The girls were sparkly. The people were friendly. The food was fucking awful. Awful. What they offered it was an abomination. They should be ashamed of what they offered for the price. You get 3 drink tickets and a champagne toast at midnight. And I don't think that 3 drink tickets is unfair. I think that's very reasonable. They have a liability issue. If it opens at 5:30 and it's there till 12, they are not legally responsible for getting you drunk by giving you 3 free drinks. I think that's completely reasonable. And then you get a champagne toast at midnight. They had stations for food set up. It was like, to me, it was the equivalent of somebody who wants to throw the cheapest fucking wedding that they can and then cram as many people in there as they can for a cash grab to make money. And they put out like, bottom of the barrel fucking appetizers. They had a table that had like cantaloupe, blueberries, blackberries, and little cheese wedges. Like that was the whole, I'm like, what a crudité platter with no dip. Like, okay, great. This purple cauliflower. I love purple cauliflower. There was orange cauliflower. Like, what am I eating this with? They had a table that had these little appetizers. I don't know what they were. They're like it was like the box of frozen hors d'oeuvres. It was a step up from the frozen box of hors d'oeuvres. I won't even say it was a step up because I like the fucking frozen box of hors d'oeuvres you get at the grocery store. You pop those in the oven. They're pretty tasty. These were not that good. I was not impressed. They listed all of these food trucks and all of these food services that were available. It was hosted by Jack Daniels. Aer Lingus was there as a host because they were announcing and marketing their first flight out of Nashville going to Ireland this summer or this spring or something. So now Aer Lingus was featured. Jack Daniels presented it and hosted it. They had a lot of Jack Daniels drinks and stuff there. Which was disgusting. Anyway, I don't drink. I used to. They had I wanted Cousin's Lobster, Cousin's Maine Lobster. I saw there was like a Maine lobster truck. I'm like, I'm getting a lobster roll. And somebody was like, don't eat lobster on New Year's. It's bad luck. I'm like, honey, my whole fucking year was bad luck. Let me tell you, if I eat it, maybe I'll have good luck. It's like giving somebody with ADD speed. Give me something that's bad luck. Maybe it'll change my luck. I didn't get any. I did not locate Cousin's Lobster. What did I locate? One food service tent outside the back door offering hot dogs. And it was called Gosh, That's a Good Hot Dog, or something to that degree, or that effect. And I think I need to add hot dogs to the list of things that New York just does better. So now it's pizza, bagels, pastry, cheesecake, knish, and fucking hot dogs. I love a hot dog. I am well aware that they are made of floor sweepings and lips and asses. I love a good lips and asses hot dog. I will eat hot dogs all fucking summer long. I'll eat them cold. I'll eat them out of I don't care. I love hot dogs. These were disgusting. And the disappointment to them was that they had a menu that you could order. And it was included with bags of chips. Fucking chips. You could order what style hot dog you wanted, and it listed all the different toppings that were on it. I think I got like a Nashville, which was bacon, cheddar cheese, onions, and barbecue sauce. And I was like, can I have a Nashville minus the barbecue sauce? Like, I don't need that. It wasn't like cheddar cheese sauce. I wanted like, I wanted oozing. It was just cold shredded cheddar sprinkled over the top. It was not like bacon that was cooked and crunched on it. It was like pieces of bacon. It was very hard to eat. Raw onions. These hot dogs, first of all, the buns tasted stale. And the bun was really big. It was very bready. The hot dog. I can't even believe I'm doing a review on New Year's food, and it was a fucking hot dog. It was mealy. Like, gosh, that's a good hot dog. My gosh, no, the fuck it is. I don't know what it was. It was kind of grainy and gritty. It wasn't very hot. And you had to wait online for so long for him. Like, it's a fucking hot dog. What the fuck are you doing? Just put him in New York City. Dirty water dog. Just let it sit in the hot water. Let it pop and crunch when you eat it. No. I don't know what I ate, but it was not a good hot dog. I think, did they have desserts? I don't even think I saw desserts. There wasn't really very much food. And I didn't eat for like half the trip because I wanted to fit into those fucking pants that I've owned for 20 years. So when I got there, I was like, pants are on. Give me the food. I don't care what I look like anymore. Give me some food. There was not very much food. And I would say that the average age, there were a handful of people that I would say were on the younger side, like in their early to mid, no, not even early, mid to later 20s. A handful. Most of the people, I would say they're probably 60% of the people in there were in their 50s, which they're going to have the money. I was sitting at this long table with these clear plastic stools. Now, when I say clear plastic stools, they didn't really necessarily have like legs. They just sort of went down like it was just a cylinder. Your ass slid all over it. They weighed about 5 ounces. They were falling over. People had trouble sitting on them. And they had limited, like a sofa and a couple of chairs. There's a big screen on the wall. When I walked in, I was like, don't fucking tell me that I paid $750 to watch this concert close up and personal on a screen like I'm in Vegas. Luckily, there is an outside viewing area. And it was a pretty decent view of the stage. You're way off to the side, but you do get to see everything. There's a gate. There's a fence. I mean, I'm like, I just want to get on the other side of the fence. The other side of the fence was where the best view was, which is where the free people went. And of course, they must have gotten there in the afternoon to get that good of a spot. The people that went there for free, they look like they had a fantastic time. I was just expecting that a group of people that pay $750 to go to a VIP Gold Circle party event would have fun. I think I saw one person dance. And she was dancing in front of her husband. I think he should have given her a $5 or it wasn't worth a $20, but he could have given her a couple bucks for her little wiggle dance. People just sat at the tables and like talked to each other, like in whatever group of 4 or 2 or 6 that went to this event. I did meet a handful of really nice people that were sitting out, the smokers. The smokers that were sitting outside were more social than anyone that was inside. They were like, no, this is, they weren't unfriendly. People were very, very friendly, but they just stuck to their own little circles. There wasn't much interaction. And then there was me standing there by myself, just watching. I would have danced. I would have done anything. Jelly Roll put a great performance on. He really did. Kane Brown did too. There was one. It was that song I love. Excuse me, you look like you might love me. I love that song. I went out to watch it. It wasn't even live. It was just a recording of it. I'm like, I just wasted 75 steps in these boots to walk all the way over there and see it. And it wasn't live. So I was like, now my feet hurt. I don't want to walk back in. I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy the ticket. If you're one of those people that wants to experience it, then you have to find out for yourself. And maybe you wouldn't be disappointed. I just think that for what it costs, when I got emails from them, they had a dedicated phone line for Gold VIP people that day. If you need something, you text us. It was like, I can't find the entrance. They had like a balloon with a G on it. Granted, duh. It's a gold balloon with a G, gold circle. The police didn't know a gold circle. I was like, can you tell me which way the gold circle? He's like, goat circle? I'm like, yeah, I'm in fucking sequence. I'm going to a goat circle, please. They said you go to the south side of the farmer's market towards the Capitol Museum. I said, first of all, I don't know which way is fucking south right now. I don't know where the fucking museum is. I asked locals. They're like, Capitol Museum? I'm like, no, give me directions that say, when you're facing the farmer's market, you'll see a sign that says farmer's market. If it's backwards, you're on the wrong side. Like something like that. But I get in and they give you this fucking lanyard and a big card that says VIP. I'm like, do I have to wear this? She's like, no. I said, I'll wrap it on my purse, but I'm not. They give you a wristband. It was a nice event. One of the reasons I did it was because I didn't want to be outside in the crowds. I heard that people in New York City wear fucking diapers when they're in Times Square because you can't move and you can't get to a restroom. We had our own bathrooms in the farmer's market building, which were farmer's market industrial kitchen bathrooms. I don't even know if anyone cleaned them before we got there that day, with 2 stalls. And then they had one of those outdoor trailer, the nicer trailers, like it's a porta potty, but it's on wheels. It's almost, I didn't even go in, but I know which ones they are. They're like the ones you rent for a wedding. They're very nice. I only used the restroom once. It was inside and I'm like in a back hallway. They had a lot of curtains up because it's the farmer's market and they had to block it all off with black curtains to make it look decorated. And I just thought, for what you were paying for, I would not do it again. I wouldn't recommend that you do it. If you have to find out for yourself, feel free. I wouldn't want to begrudge anybody a good time. And maybe I'm just being an asshole. But I had so much fun at Kid Rock's that afternoon. I was so pissed because I didn't set my watch back. And it's an hour time difference. I didn't look at my phone. I looked at my watch. I thought it was 4:00. I went like rushing. I was talking to these people from New Jersey at Kid Rock's. And I'm like, I gotta go. I'm like, I gotta go get ready for tonight. And he's like, oh, I wouldn't. He's like, I wouldn't want to go anywhere right now. He said that we went somewhere last year. It sucked. I think it was the same place. He's like, we got here when the place opened. We're parked. We're not fucking moving. Whoever does the music coordinating at Kid Rock's did such a fantastic job. Let me tell you something. The band was just starting when I got there. I think that it was possibly, I've been to a lot of concerts for big names, bands. I've been going to concerts since I was 12, and I've been to at least 100. Name it, I've probably been there. This band at Kid Rock's for New Year's Eve day, maybe they played the whole night, I don't know. Best band I think I have ever seen. The talent on every musician, the sing. I didn't want to leave Kid Rock's. to go to my $750 VIP. I wanted to stay there. And I'm almost sorry that I didn't just stay. If I could have gotten a refund or sold the ticket, I would have. But they make you match your ID to the email you get for your confirmation. There's no transferring those tickets. Then I get back to my hotel and I realize it's not 4 o'clock, it's 3. But I did the dry run, and thank goodness I did, because by the time I got done getting ready and doing everything I needed to do, it was like 8 o'clock when I got there. And I wished I was at Kid Rock's for free. No entrance fee. Just watch the band. I saw like 4 songs from that band and didn't want to leave. I'm a little disappointed that they charge what they charge. I don't mind paying it. Obviously, I don't mind paying it. I fucking paid it. I think that you should get what you pay for. And I don't know that I can say with any sort of honesty that for $750, I think if I paid $250, what I felt like I got was $250. Now, this is going to sound obnoxious, but think about this. I'm from New York. We pay a lot of money for everything. Everything up here is fucking ridiculous. So $750 to a New Yorker would normally be like, well, that's what you expect to pay. That's what you get. I'm telling you, to go to Tennessee from New York, you got a New Yorker's version of a $250 night versus $750. I would not ever do it again. So the other percentage of the crowd, 60% were in their 50s. They were older couples, I would have to say, were in their 70s and 80s. I sat at the strip of the table with the stools. I started talking about those plastic stools. I don't know how this elderly couple, they were cool. They had to be in their early to mid, possibly late 80s. And they were sort of leaning on the stools. And people didn't even know where to get food. The guy at the table next to me saw me eating a hot dog and was like, excuse me. His wife's like, where'd you get those hot dogs? I'm like, they're outside. He's like, I gotta go get one. I'm like, they're not good. I mean, I ate it because I was fucking hungry. I think I saw somebody go by with a slider. I'm like, where'd they get those? No fucking idea what the sliders were. They had tables for bars and stuff. Oh, and I mentioned that it was like Jack Daniels featured. So my first drink, I ordered a vodka cranberry because they had like 6 liquor choices. It was it's Tito's. Okay, whatever. Tito's is like the new fucking absolute. People think they have to have it because it's great. Just get fucking Stoli, please. I got a vodka cranberry. I think there was this much cranberry in it. Now, I'm not complaining that most people, the average person's going to want a good drink. I'm a wimp. I don't drink. And if I was paying for it, I'd be like, yeah, I want a decent drink. But if there's that much alcohol in it, that it's barely pink and you can't taste cranberry, it doesn't taste good. Like, you can make a strong drink and have it taste good. As soon as she gave it to me, I said, I can't drink that. I didn't say it like that. I was like, hi, I'm a little bit of a puss. Can I have like a side cup of cranberry, please? She's like, oh yeah, just take a big gulp. I'm like, take a big gulp and refill it. I can't fucking drink it. I wound up sipping on that vodka cranberry for maybe an hour. I got half of it down. I threw it away. And when I was talking to, they were very friendly bartenders. When I talked to the next bartender, I saw somebody get this peach looking bottle of something. I'm like, what is that? And she's like, oh, those are those Jack Daniels mixed, but whatever. I'm like, that looks good. She's like, oh, they're delicious. I'm like, what? She's like, that's peach. I'm like, okay, do you have any other flavors? I love peach, but I just wondered what the options were. Not at this bar. Maybe at the other bar might have it. I'm like, no, I'll just take a peach one. I think I took 2 or 3 sips of it. It must be Jack Daniels. I don't drink whiskey or bourbon or whatever the fuck it is. Tennessee whiskey. I don't drink whiskey. And I'm like, what the fuck am I drinking? I thought I was expecting like a wine cooler. I was expecting to be like Mike's Hard Lemonade or something. I took 2 sips. That fucking bottle went in the garbage. So my 2 drinks are wasted. And I'm like, the 3rd drink ticket, I said the guy at the next table looking for hot dogs. I'm like, here. He was headed to the bar. I'm like, do you want this? And he's like, why? I said, because I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to drink, and it's a waste. When I asked them where to park, they were like, oh, we prefer to use rideshare. I said, I'm sure you do. I'm sure Uber would too. They were giving away $10. Jack Daniels had a limited number of $10 ride shares that you could just get the coupon for. It cost you $10 to get home. There were coupons on the website that would give you $10 off your Uber going home, Uber or Lyft or whatever it was. I've used Uber and Lyft every time I go, most days when I go on vacation. I rented a fucking car. Uber is like the stock market. So is Lyft. Doesn't have reliable drivers. You can wait 20 minutes for a Lyft, and then when it says your driver's almost there, they're a quarter of a mile, they're at the next fucking traffic light. They're sorry, well, we'll find you a new driver. Your driver couldn't come get you. They just changed their fucking minds. I have that happen with Lyft all the time. They don't have reliable drivers. Uber is like the stock market. When it's busy and you need one, they jack the prices up. What do you think Uber fucking did on New Year's Eve? You mean everyone needs an Uber? I mean, they had a livery line where people were getting dropped off and picked up, and it looked very organized, very uniform, and streamlined. But I'm not going to... Well, I guess a $100 Uber to go 3 miles is worth more than a DWI. Well, of course it is. But I'll just walk from 2 blocks behind KFC with my rental car for free. So I didn't do the ride share. I didn't... So I gave the guy my drink ticket, and he was like, thank you so much. I'm like, whatever, you know. And then I'm talking to them, and I'm like... It was like 11:30, and I guess the disappointing part at the most was I was there by myself. And TJ called, texted me to wish me a Happy New Year because New York is an hour ahead. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So New York is an hour ahead. And so it was only 11 o'clock when anybody that I knew in New York, you know, TJ, said Happy New Year. There was another hour to go. And I kind of was going to leave. But I didn't want to be like a dick and be like, you know, bah humbug or, you know, whatever. What did I want to stay and see the music? I didn't even see the music note drop. I was inside with a whole bunch of other people watching everyone say Happy New Year to each other. And leaving wasn't quite like a nightmare. It was a little bit of a challenge, but it really wasn't that bad. It's harder to leave a concert than it was to leave there. They really did a great job. But to stay for another hour and wait, I mean, I got there at 8. It was 4 hours of standing there by myself. I talked to a few people, don't get me wrong. It's not something, and I do a lot of shit alone. I went out to dinner for my birthday by myself, and the fucking restaurant brought me my cake with a candle in it. I loved it. I have no problem. I'll talk to a fucking tree. I'll make friends no matter where I go. This was not that kind of event. It was like a couples thing. It was either couples or like groups. There was not really any mingling. And I would have expected, when I go out, even when you go to the honky, wherever you go, you just talk to people. It wasn't like that. And it's not like I'm not a social person. So, and it wasn't, I asked the people at the table next to me, it was like 10 to 12. And I'm like, no, it was like 11:30. I said to them, do you think it's too early to hold up my sign? And they're like, what sign is that? And I open it. They went hysterical. I'm like, I need a kiss at midnight. I'm like, they're like, woof. I said, don't find me somebody. I've already looked around. I'm like, there are no prospects in here. I said, I think I saw one and I'm not interested. And they laughed really hard. They're like, yeah, there's really not any single people. Like, even they noticed. They're like, there aren't single people here. I'm like, no, it's not. It was a couples event. Couples are groups that have a lot of money that can spend thousands of dollars as a group on tickets. I would not go to the free one outside only because I don't want to stand in that crowd. If you're interested in a New Year's Eve event like that, the Nashville Big Bash is a great thing to do, and it's a lot of fun. But if you can handle the crowds outside, just do the crowds outside. It seemed like there was so much more out there. I think that's where Cousins Me and Lobster was. They had giveaways at all the tents, the Aer Lingus tent, the Jack Daniels tent. They had a whole bunch of different things going on. It was almost like there was more for the people that didn't pay, that's fine. But whoever organizes the event for those that pay almost $1,000 fucking dollars, $750 plus your ride share or your rental and I had a flight and hotels and stuff. It was not like I wouldn't do it again. That's my first review of 2025. If you guys have questions or comments, please feel free to share them. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And if you want to share it, send it to somebody. See if there's someone who was there that night of the They said they sold like 500 tickets, I think. There was not 500 people there. Maybe 200, if that much. Probably 200 people were there. Ask those 200 people if they thought it was fucking worth it. Have a great day and Happy New Year.